Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Mainland High School as the Mustangs are here hosting the Holy Spirit Spartans, and Chase Petty is on the mound, and it is a full Mustang corral today for BFA Sports presentation of high school baseball. I'm Mike Gill. He's Doug Stasic. Chase Petty's on the mound, which means there's not a place to park here in Linwood today. The traffic is backed up to check out number 4 as he goes for his 4th victory in as many starts today. He'll face a team that he knows well, Doug, the Holy Spirit Spartans. You guys called the action on opening day, and he had very little trouble getting through this talented Spartans lineup.
Well, it was the first game out of the gate, Mike, and there was a lot of jitters, but there were a lot of scouts and a lot of radar guns. So here's 2 things I'll tell you. There's more scouts, there's more radar guns, there's more people, and there's definitely more burgers over at the concession stand.
Well, we're looking forward to all of those, and, of course, we'll bring you all the action here on BFA Sports as, yes, the sidelines are filled with spectators, many of which have probably never watched a high school baseball game, Doug, but many of them are all here to see number 4, Chase Petty, and he has not disappointed this season. If anything, he has elevated interest because every time out, he continues to dazzle.
Yeah, he has been beyond electrifying. You have all of the scouts, you have all of the hype, but the reality of it is being able to keep his cool. Doesn't matter what the dynamic is, who the team's playing, he approaches every single lineup the same. We're going to see high velocity for sure, but what you're really going to see is this guy with a focus on trying to use his off-speed pitches, trying to use the knockout slider, and the sinker is just something that is absolutely filthy. So I hope you brought your quarters. Might require a trip to the laundromat.
3-pitch pitcher commands them all, and he's going to face a talented Holy Spirit lineup as the Spartans. You know, this is a team here that has a couple of Division I prospects in it, so it's as loaded a lineup that you'll face in the Cape Atlantic League this year.
Yeah, the Holy Spirit lineup, you know, Coach Steve Normain, the reality of it is he actually loaded up the front part of the schedule. And some people thought he was crazy. He wanted his team to face the best. You know, they started out with a 4-game swing that was absolutely insane. The tough part about it is, and I think some of the Spartan fans and certainly the Spartan players in the dugout, they're in a position that they're kind of questioning now, was that the right move? Because the Diamond Classic votes came out, and as we know now, the Spartans are on the outside looking into that one, but we'll probably get into that more as this game rolls on.
All right, Chase Petty on the mound and leading off for Holy Spirit today is their leadoff man, C.J. Eggery, the second baseman, always a feisty out, always a tough out, one of the toughers out in the Cape Atlantic League. And Eggery, you know he is digging in and looking forward to this challenge as he will face Mainland's Chase Petty as we are set to go here on BFA Sports. Good to have you with us on a beautiful Monday down the seashore. And first pitch is laced through for a single as first pitch swinging for Eggery, and they got a 1-out base runner.
C.J. Eggery, the one thing he's going to be is aggressive. He's aggressive on the bases, aggressive on the baseball field. I know he's a guy that was a little bit banged up, but wasted no time here.
A little change in the lineup for Holy Spirit. Cohen from the 3 spot now batting 2. He's their center fielder. He's heading to Rutgers. Of course, he's the quarterback of their football team. Eggery dives back in as Petty knows that Eggery wants to run. Cohen steps out of the box. A full bleachers full of scouts, and you'll see them synchronize, put those guns up, put them back down. As Petty steps to the mound. He got into a little first-inning trouble in Absecon against the Spartans, then really settled into that one. On the stretch, high and outside, ball 1.
We talked a little bit about that too, Mike. You know, it's like, first inning jitters, first game, a lot of scouts, a lot of things that are going on. And the reality was ice started pumping through his veins into the second inning. But for the most part, this guy has been electrifying from the first pitch.
Cohen beats one foul, touched out of play, so a ball and a strike to Trevor Cohen, the Rutgers commit. He's their center fielder. C.J. Eggery, the second baseman, singled over at first base. 1 on, nobody out. Just started here on BFA Sports live presentation of high school baseball. Petty snap throw over to first. Diving back safely is Eggery. And Petty throws over again. You know, Cole Campbell, the catcher, knows Eggery very well. These three players, Eggery, Cohen, and Campbell, were all part of that Atlantic Shore team together, so they know each other very well. So Cole Campbell knows that Eggery is dying to take off here. Petty's pitch is up. There goes Eggery. Throw into second, and he is out. A quick throw and in. A nice tag by the shortstop Sharp, and they erase the leadoff single.
Well, what better way to help out your pitcher than to have a dynamic catcher? Cole Campbell not only has had a bruised hand and is one that's been swelling, this guy crushes the ice, and he crushes the hopes and dreams of would-be base stealers.
You know, you get a runner on. Are you stealing in that spot there, knowing that you got a guy on base? I mean, Eggery is pretty much the one guy who probably they know has the green light to go or can take off whenever he can get there, but you get a runner on with nobody out. And now you've erased that runner, one down, nobody on, and things have all of a sudden changed.
Amazing what one pitch or one at-bat can do from a motivational standpoint, from a momentum standpoint. That one's popped up out of play.
Cohen, fouls one down the third base side. It is a full house here at Mainland, especially down the home sideline. I actually had a park over at the basketball gym.
Well, the burgers are phenomenal here, Mike. I can't say enough about them.
Are you saying the crowd is for the burger?
Probably. I mean, 100-mile-an-hour pitcher.
Petty off speed, slows it down, and he throws one past Cohen for a strikeout, and the second out of the inning's recorded.
Wasting no time, settling right in. Give Eggery credit. So first pitch swing, gets a base runner on. Cole Campbell helps Chase reset things, and Petty acted like he was swatting some of these gnats that are a bit challenging today.
Here's Schertel, the pitcher, takes one over for a called strike, so Petty gets ahead. 0-1, and that makes it a lot more difficult. You know those charts they show where your batting average changes a count. I'm imagining when you're behind in the count to Petty, it is almost insurmountable as it's 0-2 with a little off speed to Jaden Schertel. Couple of lefties back-to-back here in the Spartan lineup. Schertel will also do the pitching today.
Schertel, the southpaw, he's been somebody who's been dealing. You talk a lot about Hegeman in the beginning of the year, looked at him as the number one. Schertel has come up time and again, and he's a clutch player. Doesn't matter if it's a football field or the baseball field.
The 0-2 just outside as Campbell holding that, trying to get a call. 1 ball, 2 strikes, Jaden Schertel. Nobody on, 2 down here in the first. Eggery singled and was thrown out stealing. Petty winds, delivers the pitch, and it's inside on the inside part of the plate for a called strike 3. Schertel goes down looking, 3 up, 3 down in the top of the first. We head to the bottom of the first inning. 0-0 is our score. Bottom of the first, Mustangs coming to the plate. They will do so with Mark Elliott, Chase Petty, Brody Levin, Cole Campbell, Sam Wood, Clayton Sands, Joe Sheeran, Ajijian, and Sharkey round out the Mustangs lineup today. Around the diamond for Holy Spirit, Shane Solari's in left, Trevor Cohen's in center, McNatt is in right, Spina's at third, Petros at short, Egri at second, Hegeman over at first. Hargadon plays for me. My handwriting's pretty bad. Gross behind the plate, and the battery with Schertel. Mark Elliott, the center fielder, leads things off. Elliott comes in hitting .429 on the season for the Mustangs, the left-handed swinger. And he swings at the first pitch right at Petros, who can't corral it, over to first, and Elliott beats it out. So a hard-hit ball kind of handcuffed Petros there, and Elliott gets on base.
Yeah, nice play there by Petros. Guy's been a cornerstone of this Spartan lineup for 4 years. Smothered it, but Mark Elliott, too athletic to let run free on that line.
That'll bring up Petty, who in his own right has swung a hot bat. .423 for the Mustangs pitcher. The right-handed swinger takes the first one over for a called strike. Nothing in one to Chase Petty. Jaden Schertel pitched here in Linwood during the Coaches versus Cancer Classic, so he's familiar with this mound. And Schertel lifts the leg over to first. Petty steps in. Schertel delivers up and away. Elliott with great speed at first base. He was the hero the other night against Ocean City. Hit a grand slam to give them a win. And they are a perfect 10-0. Schertel takes the sign from the stretch, the lefty. And Petty belts one to right over McNatt's head. It is in. Rounding second is Elliott. Elliott is going to hold up there, and Petty cruises in with a double, and the Mustangs are in business. 2 on, and nobody out to bring up the DH, Brody Levin, who comes in hitting .625.
Yeah, this guy, I mean, it's unbelievable what he's been able to accomplish over the course of this year. And no surprise, team needs him, comes up clutch, waited on that pitch and drove it hard.
So Levin, these numbers are just off the charts. .625, 2 home runs, 13 RBI, 15 hits for the Mustangs' 3-hole hitter who is getting the day off from the field. He's the DH today.
Yeah, good to see Coach Billy Kern. Some of these young guys get an opportunity. You know, we see Joe Sheeran now moving up in the lineup from where he started in the beginning of the year. And this Mainland Mustang offense, I know there's always a lot of talk about the arms and Chase Petty on the hill, but you got to give these guys credit for the way they've been hitting the baseball.
Yeah, this middle of the Mustangs lineup, you look around, Campbell's on deck hitting .556. Petty, we told you, .423. Elliott, .429. Levin, .625. So they really don't give you a break in the middle of this lineup, the top to the middle.
Yeah, there's no escaping.
Levin. Schertel winds, delivers, and that one's away. 2-0. Elliott over at third. Petty doubled. 2 on, no outs. Bottom of the first. Jaden Schertel gets the sign, and it's up and away. Up and in, I should say. And Gross is going to go out there and have a conversation with his pitcher. You know, you're facing a situation you don't see out that often is a huge crowd at a high school baseball game. I mean, normally you're playing in front of your mom and dad and a couple of friends. You got half the town out here today, so it's not out of character for Schertel to maybe be a little jacked up.
Well, and you are playing in front of the crowd at BFA Sportswear, watching out there online too, Mike. Don't forget about them. But I think the reality of it is you look at this, getting down 2 runs potentially here to a Chase Petty, a team that you got to try to hit against, that's not an easy to do. It's a tall order, and you see him walk down to first.
Yeah, Levin takes the pitch outside and away, ball 4. So on 4 pitches, Levin walks, and now the Spartan defense is already in on the grass as they're going to have to play the infield up with bases loaded, nobody out, and Cole Campbell coming to the dish. The catcher hitting .556. Has to wear that extra padding on Dave's Petty pitches. I think to see his batting average. He did hit that home run in the opener.
You should see this guy's calluses on his hands. Oh, Lord. It's something. It's a sight to be seen.
First pitch swinging. And a big hack there by Cole Campbell. 0-1. He's a heck of an angler.
Yeah.
Catch a big old bass for you.
Well, he's hoping to catch a few runs right now.
Sure tell. And that pitch is driven.
Oh, my.
Cohen under. Makes the catch. Tagging is Elliott. Here's the throw, and it is off to the left, and a sac fly as the Mustangs get on the board. The first run is in on a sac fly RBI from Cole Campbell. Mark Elliott puts the Mustangs up 1-0.
Textbook baseball. That's what you want. Might have to give up and out, but if you're going to give up and out, you got to be in a situation that you're going to give an opportunity to put these runs across the plate, and they deliver there. So nice job all around.
The other runners do not advance, so Petty still at second. And this brings up third baseman Sam Wood, coming in at .310 for the Mustangs this season. One down, 0-1. There goes Petty. Pitch is fouled off down the first base side. So the runners were going there, both of them. A ball and a strike. Schertel spins after the runners took off the last time. He made sure they weren't getting him again. Petty after the double is at second. Nothing in, or 1-1. And Wood, that one's way away. So Schertel having some control issues early here. So 2 balls and a strike. To Sam Wood, the third baseman.
He's all jacked up on Mountain Dew right now. Want to make sure that you're not in a position that another hit here. It's going to be very difficult for the Spartan lineup here with Chase Petty on the hill, getting down a few runs.
The 2-1, and that ball is hit down the third base side and down for a foul ball. Boy, that one just missed. You see Petty was rounding third. They would have had a couple more runs there. Is that one just foul?
Yeah, Schertel keeping his cool, though. You know, listen, you got one out, and you're trying to induce some sort of ground ball, especially with runners at first and second. It'd be nice to get a Petrosh to Egri double play to end the inning. At least if it was Christmas, might be what he's wishing for.
2-2, 1 out. Bottom one, the pitch. And that one swung on and missed, and a big strikeout by Schertel. So 2 down here in the first, trying to leave these guys stranded, and that brings up the right fielder Clayton Sands. Big spot for Sands to try to tack on some more. He struggled this year hitting .174. Big swing and a miss, so Schertel gets ahead in the count. 0-1. Petty on second. Levin's over at first. 2 away. Schertel kicks. There goes the runners. Down in the dirt. Gross gets in front, but no throw, so the 2 runners advance, and that puts a pair of runners in scoring position with 2 outs here in the first, and the Mustangs leading 1-0. A base hit by Clayton Sands could tack on a couple of more. The 1-1. And it's upstairs, so it's 2 balls and a strike to Mustangs right fielder Clayton Sands. Joe Sheeran waits on deck. Two one. Ball is driven into center field, but it's hanging in the air, and Solari calls off Cohen, and that will do it here in the bottom of the first. But a run comes across for the Mustangs. We'll see how it holds up. 1-0 Mainland over Holy Spirit here on BFA Sports. All right, back here on BFA Sports as we head to the second inning. Petros, Solari, and Spina will be the three to the dish here in the second. And obviously, nice job by Schertel getting out of that first inning jam. I mean, that could have been a lot more damage.
Well, listen, I mean, the reality of it is he kept us cool. Coach comes out, tries to reset, and this is why they didn't want to go down more than a run right here as Chase Petty comes out for inning number 2.
And he will face the shortstop, Stephen Petros. The right-handed swinger facing Chase Petty. And that off-speed pitch is almost unfair.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Over for a called strike. And that's one of the reasons, a lot of people throw hard nowadays, but not a lot of people throw hard with the command. That one downstairs, swing and a miss by Petros.
Yeah, and that's the thing. He gets right up on you, and it's intimidating to automatically think, well, I got one strike on me. Comes back on a 95, 96-mile-an-hour fastball.
And there you go.
Oh, Lord.
A little off-speed pitch. How do you do? And another strikeout for Petty, his third already. I mean, that one there, you're sitting dead red, and he just throws you. And, by the way, he throws them for strikes.
Oh, yeah. There's no question. You're not escaping that.
And the arm speed. And here's Shane Solari heading to Villanova, the Brigantine product. The Spartans left fielder digging in against Chase Petty. Petty just lowering the .66 ERA. First pitch is upstairs, 1-0. And all the runs he's given up so far this year all came in the same game, that opening day. He shut out Millville, shut out Buna. The 1-0. And Solari fouls that one back off the backstop, which is being occupied by a plethora of scouts. Ball and a strike. And that ball is hit to the right side. Sharkey over to first, and a GG and squeezes. And around the horn they go, 2 away.
Yeah, ground ball outs. Let this defense go to work. A lot of times these guys might be a little off their game, waiting for Chase to just do his thing.
Sharkey, a familiar name for the Mustang community. Devin Sharkey, his brother, played center field and pitched. He's now pitching at the collegiate level. And that brings up Ryan Spina. Brother Pat was a Spartan.
Yeah, he was a good one. He was a grinder.
Saw Pat the other day. He said, "What are you up to, man? You still playing?" He goes, "Nope, I retired." All of what, 21, 22? I believe he's a firefighter now.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Good for him.
Pitches up and away.
Sure, he's staying active in the family business as well with his dad, Pat, out there at Cool Comfort.
The Spartan third baseman. Two balls, no strikes. Petty. And that ball is chopped in the ground. Ajijian comes up on it, and it bounces foul. 2-1. A lot of these guys have been teammates, played together on that Atlantic Shore team. You got Spina, Cohen, Egri, Campbell, Elliott. I'm probably forgetting one or two that all played together 13th, 14th, and 15-year-old year. And that pitch is fisted towards second. Sharkey gets a glove on it, but he can't come up with it. And it's going to be a single there for – I'll give him a single.
Give him the single.
You don't get too many hits off Petty, so I'll give him a single.
That's a very much debated topic, just so you're aware. You're living dangerously, buddy.
That was going to be a tough play. It was kind of up the middle. What would you score it?
I'm going to agree with you. I mean, I don't think it was your average play, that's for sure.
It was going to be a tough throw. He would have to pivot. And this brings up Vince Spina over for a called strike. 0-1. So the second hit of the day for the Spartans. And that one's over for a called strike. So Petty right back into a groove after a strikeout and a ground out. Runner over at first is Spina. 1-0 Mainland. On a natty day here in Linwood. And that one is just nasty as he goes right after Spina and picks up his fourth strikeout of the day. And that'll end the top half of the second inning. One left on, 1-0 Mainland. We head to the bottom of the second here on BFA Sports. Bottom two, Schertel back on the mound for the Spartans. He will face the bottom of the Mustang lineup, Sheeran, Ajijian, and Sharkey getting a couple hacks today for Mainland as Jaden Schertel, who got off to a little bit of a tough start, gave up a run in the first, had bases loaded, nobody out, but got out of it. And the Mustangs will have Sheeran, Ajijian, Sharkey, and then back to the top, Elliott, Petty, Levin, Campbell, Wood, Sands, batted last inning, so the bottom third of the Mustang lineup. Here's Joe Sheeran, the left fielder, working his way up the lineup. Had that big game-winning double over in Summers Point at the Coaches versus Cancer as this ball is fisted foul.
Give him credit.
And hits eighth. Sharkey batting ninth. Schertel winds. And that off-speed pitch is just up. 2-1. 3-0, excuse me. And the 3-0. one's over for a called strike. Left-handed swinger. The 3-1. And that one is over for a called strike, so he works the count full. So Schertel battling back here. Does he dare throw an off-speed pitch? 3-2. And that one is fisted foul down the third base side. This is an area where if you're a pitcher with a lot of confidence, 3 balls, 2 strikes, you show that all-speed pitch. And that one he wings over the head of a Gigian, and he walked him. So a 1-out base runner for the Mustangs. And that brings up Brandon Sharkey. Sharkey hitting in the 9-hole, playing second base today. The right-handed swinger. And Schertel over the plate for a called strike. 0-1. Schertel, probably not his best move over to first, keeping the Gigian close.
Well, the old hypnotic lefty stare down the runner. You don't need to do too much. Yeah, we'll go to the BFA side by side.
And Schertel's pitch is swung on and missed. 0-2. So way ahead of him here. Lot to play with. Schertel. And that one is fouled off. Count stays 0-2. A Gigian over at first after a walk. Elliott on deck. See what Schertel comes up with on the 0-2. And that one's down, and nice job by Gross to keep that in front. And it's a strikeout. So, third strikeout of the afternoon for Jaden Schertel. The runner advances. But the top of the lineup, Mark Elliott steps up. Reached base on an error his first time. Hard hit ball to short. Petrosh couldn't handle it. Came around to score the only run of the game. And now he has an RBI situation. And that one's downstairs. The left-handed swinging Elliott comes in hitting .429. And that one's over for a called strike. 1-1 to Mark Elliott. He has been a starter since his freshman year for the Mustangs. And that one's just off. 2-1. Patrolling center field for Mainland. 2 balls, 1 strike. The Gigian on second. Schertel. And that one is fouled down the third base side. And it's now 2 balls and 2 strikes.
A lot of talk of Elliott coming into this year. I was tremendously surprised that he wasn't committed, but you got to look at the whole COVID dynamic. So probably put his recruitment process a bit back. But you know, Ed Charlton over there at the Baseball Performance Center, I know he's big on him, and you can really see why. He's been absolutely outstanding this year with the bat.
The 2-2, and that one's down and away. Good job by Gross behind the plate to keep it in front. Holds the runner. Yeah, Elliott's one of them guys that just, man, he just hits. Big pitch, 3 balls, 2 strikes. The pitch. And Elliott drives one to right field. McNatt is way back and camps underneath. And that'll do it here in the bottom of the second. One left on base, no runs across. Mainland 1, Holy Spirit nothing here on BFA Sports. We head to the top of the third as Holy Spirit will send Hegeman, Gross, and Eggery up to face Chase Petty. 4 strikeouts so far today for the Mainland right-hander.
And getting velo from the Baseball Performance Center back there with the Scouts. Chase has been sitting 94 to 97 on his fastball this afternoon.
So Hegeman, who throws hard in his own right, the Spartan first baseman heading to West Virginia. He will step in now and face Petty. These two met up on the mound opening day. And Hegeman takes a swing down the right field side, belts one over the first baseman's glove, and rounding second and first heading for second is Hegeman as the ball goes into the dead ball area. So it's going to be a ground rule double for Hegeman. So that's the second time, Doug, first pitch swinging seems to be the way to go. That's the second time they've got a hit with the first pitch swinging.
Well, a guy like Hegeman works out with Petty over at the BPC. We're just thanking them for giving us the radar velo. Why not? You know, you've seen hard stuff. You know it's going to be a first pitch fastball. At least you have a pretty good gut feeling that it is. And, hey, look out. They're only about 180 feet away from tying it up.
Yep, and here comes Tyler Gross, the catcher. See if he can get Hegeman over to third. And he is squaring to bunt. Petty's going to step off. So now you're the guy up the bunt, and you got a guy throwing 94, 97 with nasty deuce, all speed, and you got to be the guy to try to lay one down here. Not enviable.
No.
And he chops through the first one. See, that's, Petty knows he's trying to bunt, so he says, hey, I'm not going to throw you a fastball right down the chute if I want you to try to get you to bunt one up in the air.
Move it around. He's going to come high with it, that's for sure.
Gross squares, and he kind of punches at it, and now he's behind in the count, 0-2. That's not even close to a strike.
Can you blame him?
That pitch is out and up.
I think you take the bunt sign off here.
The 0-2. And Petty gets him down swinging, so Gross is a strikeout victim, his 5th of the day. And that brings up the top of the order C.J. Egger, who singled and was caught stealing back in the first. Hegeman doubled. He's on second. And there's Eggery. Lofts one to center. Elliott under. Makes the grab. And Hegeman. If he thought about tagging, Elliott quickly got that ball in. So a good piece of hitting by Eggery, but Elliott's there for the challenge, and there's now 2 away, and that's going to bring up Trevor Cohen, the center fielder.
Yeah, Elliott. Love the fact that he was thinking ahead, knew exactly what he had to do with the baseball, if in fact it was going to be there. He's another guy, works out together. So he realizes that the pitcher out there at second base maybe is not as sharp as you normally would expect from a base running standpoint, but give Hegeman credit. He was there.
So Cohen, the lefty, pitches outside. Yeah, I coached a team that had Elliott and Cohen in the same outfield. How many balls do you think fell in there?
Man, you must have had it easy. What did you have? You must have packed a cooler while you were coaching an awful lot. A lot of Gatorade for you those late innings with those big leads.
Petty, ball's in. 2-0. That pitch is hit foul. 2 balls and a strike to Trevor Cohen, who is off to Rutgers after next year.
Yeah, committed early. Good talent there, and certainly the Scarlet Knights looking forward to adding him. Another South Jersey product.
The ball is beaten into the ground. Campbell comes out over to first. Good job by Cole Campbell jumping out from behind the dish over to first, and that'll do it for the Spartans here in the top of the 3rd inning. They leave one on. It's 1-0 Mainland here on BFA Sports. Bottom 3 here in Linwood as the Mustangs lead the Spartans. 2 up this inning for Mainland is Petty, Levin, and Campbell. So the heart of this Mainland order here on BFA Sports. Facing Jaden Schertel. Gave up a run in the first. They had him loaded with nobody out. He got out of that and has settled in here, and now will face this Mustangs middle of the lineup for the second time. Petty doubled his first time up. Hitting .423, that average has gone up. And the first pitch off speed. Petty takes a big swing and a miss.
Yeah, winter workout buddies over there. This is for bragging rights and then some.
The 0-1. That pitch is driven to center, but camping out underneath of it is Trevor Cohen. 1 away. There's Brody Levin, who walked his first time up. Getting that first out for Schertel. First pitch swinging for Brody. Down the third base side, foul. Full house here in Linwood.
Taking it all in. Some great baseball weather. Saw Coach Keith Gorman, now at Barton College, former head coach of the Spartans.
Off-speed pitch outside and away, 1-1.
We were talking at length before the game, and I had said these are some impressive kids on both these teams. I'm sure he's shopping.
Upstairs for Schertel. You know, it's interesting. You got Cohen, who's the quarterback of the Holy Spirit football team. His teammate Schertel was the quarterback of the St. Joe football team. this season. Schertel transferred.
Yeah.
You don't see that very often.
Welcome to 2021.
Right? Playing football, quarterback against each other. Now you're on the same team baseball. That ball's driven. Foul down the left field side. Gave it a ride off of that one over the burger stand.
I was hoping they have delivery over there. Maybe they have some Uber Eats at the Mainland concession stand. There's got to be somebody over there. We're more than happy to shamelessly plug it if you want to deliver a couple of burgers. I mean, I know you're a keto guy and things, Mike, but you can just eat the burger. You don't need the bread.
Yeah, no bun. 2-2. And that one's over for a called third strike. And Schertel froze. Looked like Brody was looking for something a little different there.
Oof. Schertel is absolutely on point here. He's doing everything that he needs to keep his Spartans in this baseball game. They've had a couple of runners. Another inning here. If he can get through this part of the lineup with the big swing of Cole Campbell, they could be in good shape.
Campbell has the only RBI in this game, a sac fly back in the first. Time is called, and Schertel just fires one up there.
Why not?
Pitch is down and in. 1-0. Cole Campbell from Northfield. He was the Mustangs quarterback for a time, and then he decided to concentrate on playing baseball.
He's got a cannon for an arm.
He was the catcher on that team I had.
Man, coaching never been so easy. It's like playing a Madden football game for you.
Yeah, I just kept trading.
Yeah.
Overriding the trade. That ball's ripped down the third base side, off the bag, and in for a single. And no, Solari overruns it, but Campbell is going to hold there. It looked like he was going to make that turn as Solari overran it, but not far enough. So that one kind of popped off the bag, and Cole Campbell is a 2-out base runner.
Nice piece of hitting, getting a fair amount of all-speed pitches, but he was able to barrel one. Noah Myers.
Well, Noah Myers was on that same team.
How many? Is there anybody here in Linwood that wasn't on your team?
No, but I'll say Noah Myers was the backup catcher on that team and had a catch a game one night that might have been 98 degrees in Arkansas.
Oh.
And it's a different kind of 98 degrees down there.
I bet.
And it was
you went about you could cut the humidity with a butter knife,
and the
plastic one at that.
The game ends up being like 18-11. It's one of those games.
Oof. Been there.
Pitch is up. 1-1. Sam Woods struck out back in the first. Comes in hitting .310 on the season. Schertel, the lefty. Swing and a miss.
His off speed, man, that has been nasty.
Kept him in this game off balance. 4 strikeouts so far for Schertel. And Woods steps out of the box. I don't know that Wood ever called timeout. He just kind of stepped out, unless he verbally said it.
Maybe. That drives.
Yeah, the umpire's telling him. You got to.
That drives a pitcher nuts.
And the umpire let him know, hey, you can't just wander out of the box there on your own, buddy. Looks like Schertel gets the sign from Gross. 2 down. Here's the pitch. Off speed. Cohen makes the grab in center field, and that'll do it for the Mustangs here in the third. 1 left on base. It's 1-0 Mainland over Spirit here on BFA Sports. All right, heading to the top of the fourth inning here in Linwood. BFA Sports presentation of high school baseball. Mainland 1, Holy Spirit nothing. And coming up for the Spartans this inning, Doug, will be Schertel, Petros, and Solari. So if they want to get a couple of runs, it's 3, 4, 5 guys.
They've had runners at second base a couple times in scoring position. We saw an attempted move on a sacrifice bunt. That was unsuccessful. A couple guys left out there stranded. So it's not that Spirit hasn't had the opportunities. It's just that they haven't had correct change when there was no change to be given at the register.
Yeah, and Petty, of course, grooving today with 5 strikeouts so far in the game. I mean, he is topped out at 99 on the gun. So if they're going to get a run, it's going to be difficult. They got to try to figure out a way to scratch one out here. And they've had, as you said, they've had their opportunities. They had Egri led the game off with a single. He got thrown out stealing.
Here's the thing, too. I mean, he got caught stealing, got 2 runners stranded at second base. They've been knocking on the door. Question is, who's going to be the guy to kick it down?
Well, these are the guys. Schertel, who can help himself out. He's pitching a heck of a game. Struck out his first time up. And he leads off the top of the fourth here for the Spartans. First pitch is just off the dish, 1-0.
Why is it?
Swing and a miss by Schertel, 1-1. Time is called. Top 4, 1-0 Mainland. If you're just tuning in, they scored a run in the first. Petty's pitch is down. Two and 1. Top 4. Schertel, the left-handed swinger. And that one's inside, so 3 and 1.
I don't know about that one, but if that was a Waze app, I think that would have possibly be taking you to the edge of the strike zone. Possibly.
That was in. 3-1. And that one is inside and a ball. So a leadoff base runner starts things off for Holy Spirit here in the fourth. So something cooking again. They get another base runner.
Well, that's now 3 of 4 innings that the leadoff batter has gotten on. Or is it all 4? I think it's 3 or 4. You know, this is where if you're Steve Normain, coach of Holy Spirit, as much as you may not want to take the bat out of a guy like Steve Petros's hands, you really got to consider doing something here and put some pressure on the Mainland D.
Petros struck out his first time up, and he's listening because he squares the bunt. They fire to first as Campbell sees Schertel a little drifting from that bag.
Kind of laughing as Coach Kern keeps floating right in the middle of the shot there over at third base. Can't help himself.
Petros gets the bunt up the first base side. It goes foul. Petty scoops it into foul territory. So Petros probably not used to bunting all that much, the number 4 hole hitter.
That's what I was saying. It's just with this situation, the regular rules get thrown out the window.
Solari waits on deck. 1-1. He's going to bunt. Pulls it back. 2-1.
Yeah, you get a look at we're a little tight on the shot here, but you'll see Wood in the screen in just a second. He's up on the grass. Nope, Coach Billy gonna sit there in the middle of the shot.
Petros offers at that, and now it's 2 strikes. So it's a tough spot. You're trying to bunt against a guy throwing in the mid to upper 90s, and if you don't get it down, now you put yourself in a spot where you're down in the count. Not an envious situation here.
I said Coach Kern, I Coach Normain.
That ball's outside, off the dish. 2-2. Yeah, Wood, the third baseman, he was up, but not all the way in. So it looks like they're asking Petty to really field his position there. First baseman is obviously holding the runner on. And that's Schertel. Petty. And that's down, so 2 straight walks. Has 2 on with nobody out here in the 4th. So this Holy Spirit lineup. And they've got probably the one guy they would like up in this spot. If you said, hey, give me a guy up with 2 on and nobody out, Shane Solari is a very smart player. You know, could go to the other side. Might even ask him to put a bunt down in this spot.
I'm thinking the bunt sign stays on here.
So here's Solari.
Very surprised.
And Solari is showing bunt. And he offers. It's over for a called strike. Solari from Brigantine heading to Villanova. Plays left field for the Spartans. And he squares to bunt again. That one is chopped foul, so it's 0-2.
Yeah, it's been maybe the toughest assignment that the Spartan offense have had. We've seen the bunt sign put on now. This is the 3rd time where haven't been able to get it down with now 2 strikes in a sacrifice situation.
Now Solari's going to swing away, I would imagine. 0-2. Petty kicks. And an off-speed pitch is hit through the hole. It's Wood, gets a glove on it. Rounding third and coming around to score. The Spartans have tied it up as Schertel scores the first run, and heading to second is Solari. So it's 2nd and 3rd with still nobody out.
Big time spot. This is a tie ball game. The one thing you've been asking is try to be productive. There's no question that we're going to be in a position that you're going to be maybe playing from behind. You're going to need a run, but be productive. Instead of getting this strikeout, trying to be another petty victim, at least move runners on. And, man, 0-2. Nice job there by Solari. That's big time.
Yeah, Solari just put it in play, hit it hard. Wood got a glove on it, but not enough to keep the runners from scoring. And Schertel running hard, rounds third all the way around, and Petros advances up to third as well. And moving over to second is Solari. So a single and an RBI for Shane Solari, and that'll bring up Ryan Spina, the third baseman here. And now a little mound visit for Mainland as they're talking things over. As you got runners in scoring position, still nobody out.
Yeah, this is one of those firsts of the whole year, and it's tough. When you're Mainland, you know that you're getting, as we'll call it, the Game 7 World Series effort of every team that you play. I've covered quite a few games as of this whole season for them, and this is the first time that I've actually seen the Mainland squad with runners at second and third and nobody out the entire season.
Taping up Petros there. It looks like he's got a little pant leg procedure going to be needing to be done after this game.
Well, I'm sure with the family business being Petros' big top, they got some vinyl they can slap on there and fix those white pants with all those white tents. And,
wearing vinyl pants?
Yeah, why not? I mean, think about it. No mud issues, no rain issues.
Here's Spina. Up and in. Ball 1. His father, Pat, stopped by to say hello earlier in this game, right after we got done seeing him his first time up as he chops one foul off the first base dugout.
And that's Comfort Solutions. So for all your heating and air conditioning needs, be sure to call the Spina family. Pat Spina at Comfort Solutions, right there, located out of Absecon.
There's Ryan with a 1-1 count. And that one's over for a called strike, so he gets the off-speed pitch. Puts him behind the count, 1-2. Petty steps off. Second and third, nobody out. Petros at third, Solari at second. Spina, the right-handed swinger, at the plate. Pitch is way outside. 2-2. Top 4 here in Linwood. 1-1, Mainland, Holy Spirit. The 1-2. Pitch is hit back up the middle. Off of Petty. It squirts over to the third base side. Petros will score. Solari to third. And Spina reaches on a single. So he's got 2 hits today. And it's first and third. And the Spartans take a 2-1 lead.
Well, this is exactly what they're trying to do. Put pressure on the Mainland defense by getting the ball in play consistently. And you're looking at Solari at third. He got the party started. Spina comes back, and it was a shot right up the middle, and doesn't look like it fazed Petty whatsoever other than the scoreboard.
So it's 2-1 Holy Spirit, and now Vince Spina steps in. Still nobody out. That ball popped the mitt pretty. And Cole Campbell's going to come out.
I think he sees that these guys are fired up, number one, and then number two, situation with runners at first and third. How do we want to play this?
So Spina's at first. Solari over at third. This is Vince Spina at the plate. 2-1 Holy Spirit. Top four.
What do you do if you're Coach Normain? Do you run here?
Inside. You got nobody out.
I think I would.
You still got a runner on third, even if he gets taken out. The 1-1.
Here he goes.
Pitches driven foul down the first base side. Spina was going on the play. I mean, Campbell's one of the better throwers in the league. Do you take the out?
I think you do.
Sharkey is up on the grass at second base, as is Wood at third. The shortstop is back a little, and that ball is fouled off the cage. So the infield defense is kind of interesting. They've got Sharkey at second, kind of halfway. And there's a ball hit to short. It's going to be tough for Sharkey to get there. That one's up and in on Spina. 2-2.
Good battle here. Thank You Classic was last weekend. Spina came in. It was interesting in a pinch hit situation. The old pinch hit home run. That's one of those memories you'll never forget. Coming in off the bench cold, one swing.
Swing and a miss. Struck him out. So Petty bears down and picks up the strikeout. It's the first out of this fourth inning. That's Dave Hegeman heading to the plate. He doubled back in the third inning. Hit a bullet down the right field line. He was first pitch swinging. See if Petty goes with something off speed this time. And he does.
But I think that's a good move. What you have to do, have confidence in your secondary pitches, have confidence in your catcher Campbell, even with a runner at third base.
The 1-0. Upstairs, 2-0. Yeah, Hegeman swung at a first pitch fastball last time, so Petty said, I'm not letting you do that again. He couldn't sneak it over, so a good job by Hegeman to hold off, and now he's ahead in the count 2-0, and here comes possibly his fastball.
Yeah, this one's going to come upstairs.
Winds and delivers. And that one's over. There's your fastball.
Almost a guarantee in that spot.
2-1. A pair of walks started this inning over to first. Sliding back in safely is Spina. Pair of walks started things off here, and then two singles. The 2-1. Up and in. 3 balls and a strike. Gross waits on deck. Six strikeouts for Petty. He could use one here.
There's always something that you can learn about a player in a baseball game, and I think today's lesson is, and how does Petty respond with a little bit of adversity? And I would say it's going to be ice in his veins if I were a betting man.
3-1 pitch is fouled to bring it to a full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out here in the fourth. See if they send Spina. Probably not. They'll strike him out, throw him out. Wouldn't go over well.
Devastating.
Up and in, ball 4. And that'll load the bases with Spartans now. Third walk of the inning for Petty, who typically Doug has impeccable control. He does not walk very many guys, and he has 3 here in the inning.
Listen, it's uncanny for him, but the reality is he's human. But I'll go back to the guys with the guns behind that screen. They love this right now because they want to see, hey, how does he respond to a bit of an off inning for him?
Inside, ball 1. Well, and it's a good lesson, too, for everybody out there pitching is even a guy who's going to be a first-round pick likely throws this hard. Walks are very difficult to tightrope around, no matter how good you are. And that one's down, 2-0.
Well, the irony is the guys in the Spartan dugout, that's something that they've been challenged with. You know, we talked about their big-time schedule that they had coming out of the gate this year, and it's not so much the opponents, but there was a lot of walks that they were giving up early in ball games, and it was tough to get around. So this is one of the first times I've seen Mainland put any walks up on the board of substance.
That one's over for a called strike. 2-1. Bases loaded, 1 out, 2-1. Holy Spirit. They've scored 2 in the inning. They've got the bases packed. The 9-hole hitting Gross is up. Eggery, the leadoff man, waits his turn on deck. The 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss as Gross. That one's probably out of the strike zone, too.
Yeah, he got the angler got him the fish back there. So that was a good call, good location from Campbell. As Petty continues to sit around 93 miles an hour from the reports we're getting from the scouts and our friends at the Baseball Performance Center.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Big pitch here from Chase Petty. Gross, the left-handed swinger. Winds, kicks. And an off-speed pitch got Gross swinging. And that's the second time Gross has gone down on strikes today. So 2 away, bases loaded. And here comes Eggery, the Spartan leadoff hitter, who singled to start the game and flew out to center. Has a big spot in the game here.
Oh.
Offered at an off-speed pitch. Got away from Campbell, but a very short backstop here in Linwood. Really prevents that run from third to come home on pass balls.
Yeah, you really need a kick out to the left or right of the backstop to even have an opportunity. But looks like Solario was told by Coach Normain very early on, do not try it.
The 1-0 and another swing and a miss. Not really a full swing. That's 2 off-speed pitches that Petty fooled Eggery on, and he's ahead in the count, 0-2. The 0-2, and that's outside. 1-2, 2 outs, bases loaded. Spartans lead 2-1 here in the 4th. Mainland will send Sand, Sheeran, and Ajijian up in the bottom half of the 4th. The 1-2, and that off-speed pitch is popped into center field. Elliott camps out underneath of it, and they get out of the inning. They leave them loaded here, but the Spartans tack on 2. They lead it 2-1 here on BFA Sports. Head to the bottom of the fourth here as Holy Spirit leads Mainland 2-1. And Clayton Sands, who flew out to left his first time up, steps in against Jaden Schertel, who's got himself a 2-1 lead. Fastball in. So Schertel gets the lead. See how he pitches with it. Had a shaky start to this game. Gave up 1 run in the first. Had bases loaded, no outs, and then settled in and has really done a nice job the last 2 innings. Pitches up to Clayton Sands, the Mustang right fielder. Struggling with a 174 batting average. That one's over for a called strike. The 1-1 from Schertel. That one's down. 2-1. Schertel. Got it to Petrosh. And Hegeman pulled off the bag and a tag and 1 away.
Yeah, give him credit for hanging with it. Got to give a shout out to our first base camera operator today, Pete Thompson, who wanted a front row seat. So I said, hey, I got an idea. Why don't you just put a camera in your hand and you can perch right atop first base for us, pal?
There you go. The PT back with a camera. Sheeran up to the dish. Is that a PT Mike Frankel? Are they sharing that scaffolding over there?
They are. I don't know who's responsible for paying the rent, but the coin flip. Hopefully PT wins today.
Sheeran beats one foul. The old TV 40 tandem, the old SNJ boys.
Hey, Mike, you should let the audience know that we're out in center field because there's no room in the inn with all the Major League Baseball scouts behind the first base.
Yeah, I got to say, this is the first time I've actually called a game from center field. It's not the easiest thing in the world, but the camera work by Pete Thompson and Charles are making it.
Yeah, Charles Hope, man. As I always say, as long as we have Charles, we always have hope.
That's right. Ball is down on Sheeran. Makes it a lot easier. Yeah, with all the scouts taking the seating behind home plate, which is normally where we'd be situated. Up and in on Joe Sheeran, 3-1.
Oh, the other challenges with all of the radar guns and equipment that a lot of these scouts come packing with, it does wonders with some of our equipment. So it's nice to have some space.
Schertel gets a lead, doesn't want to put a runner on through a walk. So he goes after Sheeran. He fists one to short, and Petrosh glides back and makes the grab. So 2 away. Petrosh is responsible for both. A grounder to short. Now a little humpback liner, and that's going to bring up Alex Ajijian, the Mustangs' first baseman, a left-handed swinger. Comes in hitting .333.
Gigi, one of the unsung heroes. You know, he on the first day of back in April 20th, I guess it was, his number got called. He wasn't in the lineup. Wagner went down with a crazy injury, and he's been in the lineup ever since, but doing a real nice job holding things down over there at first base.
0-2, Schertel gets ahead. 2 down here in the fourth. Big hitter for Schertel. If he can get him out, he would start the fifth with the 9-hole spot. The 0-2. Schertel got him swinging.
And he is fired up. Look at the emotion as he comes off the mound, and the Spartans get ready to hit. He is in it.
3 up, 3 down here in the fourth. We head to the top of the fifth. 2-1, Spartans over the Mustangs. BFA Sports. All right, top 5 here in Linwood. Spartans 2-1 over Mainland. Chase Petty back out for his 5th inning of work. He'll face the 2-3-4 Cohen, Schertel, and Petrosh here. Trevor Cohen, swing and a miss. The Spartan center fielder. Now his brother will hit leadoff for me tonight.
I was just about to ask the question of, tell me Cohen's place in your lineup at some point.
Well, he played left field, but, that team was so deep. He hits second here. He hits 7th for me, when he was 13 years old. He has grown quite a bit since then. But, yeah, he was the 7-hole hitter on that team. His brother Gavin is my shortstop and bats leadoff.
You got your hands full. You got a 7:15 start tonight, and you're in Linwood right now.
That's only 5:15.
Who's your assistant?
Pitches inside. My longtime assistant is Don Myers, and Frankie Curtin, who was a player of mine, who's 20 years old, has coached with me the last 3 seasons.
Strong.
He was on the first Atlantic Shore World Series team.
All right.
He was the 3rd baseman on that team.
That's where you start to feel a little bit old when your players are coaching with you.
Yep, especially him. That pitch is over for a called strike. Yeah, Frank Curtin was on that team that won the World Series. Nick Atoy, Devin Sharkey, Vander Slice.
That's some talent right
Lashley.
there. Man,
that team was loaded.
It's like a fantasy baseball team.
Pitch is beaten foul down the first base side. Yeah, that team was doubly loaded.
Yeah.
A lot of college players on that team. Danny Noonan actually was not on the team that won the World Series. He played for me as a 13-year-old. I had Danny and his brother Matt.
Man, Danny Noonan used to terrify me. We'd play them in travel. He was like 8 years old, and he looked like he drove to the game at like 8 years old.
He was a big 13-year-old kid. Yes, he was.
Yeah, he played back then. He played for. This is the first time I remember seeing him. Ocean City. It was like a summer league machine pitch tournament. 8 years old. I was coaching for East Violent. I was like, there is no way that kid is 8 years old. But sure enough,
the 3-2 is fouled off by Trevor Cohen. Now, if you could spot his mother, she's probably pacing somewhere. Now, I'm wondering if Trevor's playing here and the mother and the father here. I want to know how Gavin's getting to my game in time.
maybe he's here.
Possible.
And someone has to flip a coin. Someone's got to leave.
The 3-2 from Petty. Hit into center. Elliott snags it. And there's one away.
Elliott sitting, Chase Petty sitting at 95 miles an hour as the latest radar gun readings are sent to us. Appreciate again, guys at BPC down in Pleasantville.
Now, I do know the JV game's going on behind us, and a couple of my players are playing in that game.
Oh, they'll be all warmed up. You don't even need to worry about stretching. They're ready to go.
That's the way it always is. You go from your high school game to your city game.
I used to love it, man. I absolutely used to love it. I coached the senior league out in Vineland for years, and that freshman, sophomore year, these kids would run from either their freshman or JV game and show up and change into uniform, but it was like always a nice 5-hour experience. I loved it.
Well, I played at Mainland here, and I grew up in Linwood for senior league. Our field was across the street right over here, and I'd literally go from this field over to that field, and, you're wearing whatever jersey you could find.
Yeah.
0-1, 1 out, Schertel. And the pitch swung on and missed, and Schertel goes down swinging.
I guess we were behind on the scoreboard.
So another strikeout for Petty. That's his 8th K of the day. Here's Petrosh. Petrosh walked and scored. He also struck out back in the second, as that one is just off the dish. 1-0. That pitch is off the dish as well. 2 balls and no strikes. You mentioned at the top, Doug, Holy Spirit had a lot of high hopes. They were highly regarded coming in and did not make the Diamond Classic. So this is a game that they say, hey,
statement.
Who forgot about us?
Yeah, they were fired up getting off of that bus. We were set up here in center field. They came marching across, and they looked stone cold. Like there was nothing but business on the brain, and so far we're seeing it. These guys are in a heavyweight bout against Mainland and Chase Petty.
3-0 swinging. Petras swings through.
I don't see that every day.
3-1. Petras walked his last time up. He said, I don't feel like walking again. The 3-1. Beaten in front of the plate. Petty fields, throws, and Ajijian squeezes, and that'll do it here. 3 up, 3 down in the 5th. We head to the bottom half of the 5th inning. Holy Spirit 2, Mainland 1, BFA Sports. Bottom 5 here in Linwood. Holy Spirit 2, Mainland 1, and the Spartans with 2 runs in the 4th, trying to hold on the lead, facing the bottom of the Mainland lineup. Brendan Sharkey start things up. Struck out his first time up. Sharkey, Elliott, and Petty will face Jaden Schertel, the Spartans lefty, here in the 5th. First pitch is down. Ball 1. The 1-0. Fouled off. One 1. Elliott's on deck. And that pitch is over for a called strike. So Schertel's still pumping as ahead in the count 1-2. Steps out. A ball and 2 strikes to second baseman Brandon Sharkey. The 1-2 downstairs. Evens the count 2-2. Sharkey at second today as Brody Levin is the DH. The 2-2. Upstairs, full count. It's a big first hitter here for Schertel. Trying to keep that leadoff man, the number 9 hitter, erased.
I'm hearing a lot of cheering over there, Mike.
3-2 is fouled. Backing out of play.
Over at the JV field, so maybe some of your A-Shore guys are making some noise over there.
Let's hope they don't waste all their hits over there.
That would be unfortunate.
3-2, Schertel with the sign. Winds, kicks, delivers. Swung and a miss, and looked like Sharkey kind of got fooled. He wasn't sure if he wanted to swing, and then ended up swinging. Needless to say, a big first out for Jaden Schertel, his second strikeout of Sharkey on the afternoon.
He's fired up, man. You look at him, he is charged as far as getting pumped up for this one.
6 strikeouts for Schertel. Well, lefty on lefty now. Elliott takes the first pitch. A little away, 1-0. The 1-0. Swing and a miss as Elliott looked like he was trying to deliver that one over to the Mainland football field. The 1-1. Outside. 2-1. The 2-1 pitch. Fouled. Backing out of play. Evens the count at 2-2. Elliott followed by Petty as the Mustangs trail 2-1 with 1 out here in the 5th. Schertel winds, kicks. The all-speed pitch. Hit it to right, base hit for Elliott. Takes a big old turn over at first. And the Mustangs have a 1-out base runner. That'll bring up Chase Petty now. He doubled back in the first inning and flew out to center. Good speed at first in Elliott as the Mustangs looking for a run.
This is where the competitor in Chase Petty comes out. You know, he's finds himself down uniquely enough, understands his squad needs his bat. And I think he's going to get aggressive, but I don't see Schertel getting him a fastball early.
First pitch beat foul down the third base side. So Schertel gets ahead in the count, 0-1. 1 down here in the 5th. Brody Levin waits on deck. Elliott over at first after a single. 1 out here in the 5th. Ball is inside. Two and 1. Schertel kicks, delivers down in the dirt. Schertel with the sign. And that one's down and in. 3 balls and a strike. The pitch. Upstairs, ball 4, and now the Mustangs have 2 runners on here in the 5th.
Well, now different kind of pressure. Now the tide has turned. They're going the other way. This is the first time we've seen Schertel now with a couple of Mainland batters in this spot. And they're in the meat of their order.
Brody Levin has walked and struck out, and here comes a little chat for Jaden Schertel. There's Elliott over at second, who singled. Petty's on first after a walk. It's 2-1, Holy Spirit.
Yeah, see, I mean, with 1 out, I don't think we really got to worry about a potential defending small ball. They're not going to trade it out, not with 1 out already, but I think this is getting interesting.
So here's Brody Levin. 625 is the batting average coming into today's game. Down and in.
Rumor is that if they would need to add 2 of your year's batting averages together to come up with 625.
That's all right. I'll take a 300 hitter.
All right. Well, as long as it's not 3 years. 2 years, okay.
Hey, I'm a PO.
Well, that's another chapter that's about to close. It's the National League DH is coming next year, so there will be no more batters.
That's not official.
Oh, that's definitely happening. That's definitely happening.
The 2-0. Time called. A little late time. We've seen that 3 or 4 times today.
Yeah, and it's happening in the Schertel. You don't see anybody stepping out against that guy over there at first.
First and second, one down here in the 5th. Levin. He fouls one off. 2-1. Brody Levin from Summers Point. He's got a brother, Tanner. His father, Frank, is a heck of a pitcher. He still might throw Chet. It's got to be in his 50s by now. I think. I don't know. He's got 9 lives, that Frank.
Good for him. I can barely throw batting practice, let alone actually pitch.
Up and away. His father and I pitched together.
Really?
Makes me feel a little old.
Yeah.
I was young on that team. It felt like Frank was like the old guy on that team. And he's still mowing people down. Man, Frank could throw, man.
Father-son combo that's coming to a field near you this summer, speaking of which, is we saw Jim Kurtz out here.
3-1 pitch, swung on and missed.
Also a trainer of Isaiah Selden Jr. He and his son, Jim, who is a freshman at Mercer County College, just hit a nuke the other day. They're going to be playing for Buna in the South Shore League over there.
Wow.
South Jersey South Shore Baseball League. It's a lot of South.
3-2. There goes the runners. And swung on, missed. Over to third. Levin goes down swinging, but Elliott takes off for third. Petty didn't follow him, so he's over at first. But the out is recorded on the strikeout. So 2 away. And Cole Campbell comes up, has an RBI sac fly back in the first and a single with a chance for a second RBI. With Mark Elliott over at third, Chase Petty. You sending Petty here?
2 outs. Yeah, I would actually.
First pitch is over for a called strike at the knees.
Because in that case, Campbell, a base hit, scores 2 instead of 1. You're going to put the pressure on Gross. You really can't be aggressive and throw in this spot because you certainly don't want to let the other one tie. And I think they're on to Mainland's plans.
Schertel over to first. Yeah, Elliott's got a lot of speed over at third. You got to be pretty sure you're going to steal this base, though. First and third, 2 outs. The 0-1. Inside, 1-1. Wood is on deck. He struck out and flew out to center. So there's a big spot for Campbell. Comes in hitting .556 for the Mustangs. Homered in the opener against Holy Spirit. He launched one to left. It was back-to-back jacks with Levin and Campbell. Here he is with a chance to tie this thing up. There goes Petty. The ball is fisted past the mound, and the two runners collide, and they get out of the inning as Eggery and Schertel collide, and somehow they get the ball over to first base. What a play, and the Spartans get out of it.
I thought we were at Ed Burns Stadium with the hits you usually see from Eggery out there, but nonetheless, you always want to see hustle on the ball. Most importantly, they get the out. So looks like everybody's okay over in the Spartan dugout. But the Mainland Mustangs see another opportunity to go to the wayside.
So we head to the top of the 6th. Holy Spirit holding on to a 2-1 lead. All right, a pitching change here in Linwood as Petty's day is done, and Mark Elliott will be the new pitcher, the left-hander for Mainland. His brother Christian Elliott will head to left field, and Joe Sheeran moves from left over to center. Petty moves from the pitcher's mound over to second base, so Sharkey is out of the game. Elliott will be in the 9 spot in the order. 8 strikeouts on the day for Petty, but it was the 2 walks, actually 3 walks in the 4th inning that is the difference, and it's a 2-1 Spartan lead. So Petty's day is done, 8 strikeouts, 3 walks, and now Elliott is in to try to keep this one here, and he'll do it facing Solari, Spina, and Spina here in the 6th. Fisted up high. Elliott, just like he's in center field.
PFP, but even when you're a center fielder, you still get credit for the PFP because you're on the mound.
You know, it's tough to hit one up in the air to the pitcher here with that overhang.
Yeah. You got to really kind of have a straight-up launch angle, if that's what you want to call that.
And here's Spina, the third baseman. A couple singles and an RBI. He fists one down the first base side. The Gigian running, as is Sands. You know, he hit that ball was the one that went back off of Petty's foot and drove home that second run. He's got the difference making hits so far in this game.
Yeah, and you mentioned the 8 strikeouts for Petty, but let's be real, there weren't any real hard-hit balls by the Spartans. I mean, a couple crazy balls that were hitting the infield. There was one that trickled off and got by over on the left side.
Pitches off the plate. Actually, no, they're going to give him that. It's a kind strike right there.
The old Be Kind rewind sticker on the VHS things back at Blockbuster. So Elliott's played a bit of a closer role for the Mustangs here in 2021. They bring him in with 2 innings left, down 1.
Yeah, we saw him close the game out against Cherokee over at the Coaches versus Cancer. Came into that game after Will Hoover had pitched really well. And Hoover pitched the other night in Ocean City. Pitched really well. He's done a nice job for them. But Elliott's kind of that guy they go to in those ice water in the vein situations. The 1-2. Elliott. That pitch spins outside. So 5 innings, 8 strikeouts, 3 walks, 5 hits, and 2 earned runs today. The line on Chase Petty, as that ball was fouled down Route 9. So that'll end his day. 2-1 to score. Spartans lead. That one just misses.
This is where the Spartans are likely to feel a bit more comfortable in trying to work the count.
That ball's hit back through the middle, base hit. So Solari, it's a leadoff base, Spina gets his 3rd hit of the day.
That's big-time performance by a guy where the Spartans needed him the most. And another leadoff hitter in an inning for Holy Spirit. Mike, they've had opportunities. Haven't really seen the crooked number inning yet, but could be on for something right here.
Here's Vince Spina. He's first pitch hacking. Foul ball. Vince Spina has struck out in his only 2 plate appearances. And he swings through on 0-2. So Elliott gets ahead quickly here. And the interesting thing about it is that all those bleachers are now empty behind home plate.
Maybe there would have been some room for us. When we can't move, it's too late.
The 0-2, up and away.
I do want to draw your attention though, Mike. There's a red hoodie behind home plate, and that there is Phillies farmhand Mike Adams.
Oh, nice. Your eyes are a lot better than mine. I see the red hoodie. That one gets away from Campbell, so Spina advances. So on the pass ball, so an E2 advances Spina to second. And now Vince Spina has a chance for an RBI. And the pitch is fouled. Easy drive from Lakewood to here, I guess. About an hour.
Yeah. And I believe an off night for the Jersey Shore Blue Claws, just like the big club.
And the 2-2 pitch swung on and missed. And Spina goes down for the third time today. And it's the second out of the inning. And that'll bring up Dave Hegeman.
Sometimes you have those days where they just seem to have your number. And you just got to worry about the next game. Just move on.
So Hegeman doubled and walked. He is yet to be record an out on Hegeman today. Elliott the lefty in relief of Chase Petty. And 2-0. You know, it's one of those guys, he's not a pitcher first. He's just a competitor on the mound. And he just, one of them guys who just refuses to give in and trying to keep it here in the sixth. The 2-0. And that's off the plate. Ooh, a little help there from the home plate umpire.
The beauty of our center field camera shot, buddy.
The 2-1 from Elliott. Kicks inside. 3-1.
So I will share with some of our fans out there that, believe it or not, we're working on a K-zone. So we have some pieces we've been kind of messing with, and we've put it together. Have yet to test it out, and I'm actually going to have a conversation with the head of the umpires down here, John Galante, see how he feels.
3-1 is fouled on the right field side.
Onto the lawn across New Road. All right, so as we got a little bit of time here, Mike, I got to ask you. So we're talking about some of the calls and some of the 50-50 stuff, and it's very difficult to even go down the path of balls and strikes.
Ground ball to short. Sharp over to first, and Jijin can't hold on, and they're going to get him over there at first, though.
They say he went back to the bag, dove with the glove.
Yeah, pulled him off the bag and then dove back with the glove to retire the side. Here in the sixth, 1 run left on base. 2-1's our score. Spartans lead the Mustangs. We head to the bottom half of the sixth here on BFA Sports. All right, bottom 6 here in Linwood as the Spartans lead the Mustangs 2-1. It'll be Wood, Sands, and Sheeran, the 3 up here this inning for Mainland, facing Holy Spirit lefty Jaden Schertel. 1 run back in the first is all the Mustangs have been able to scratch out today as that first pitch is inside, ball 1. Wood, the third baseman. And that one's up and away. Came in hitting .310 on the day. 0 for 2, a strikeout and a fly out. Trying to get something going again against Schertel. And that one's over for a called strike. Schertel gave up that 1 run in the first. He had bases loaded, nobody out, and got out of that with just 1 run. That's big in this 2-1 ball game as that pitch is off the plate. 3 balls and a strike to Sam Wood.
Got to think Mainland going to try to apply some pressure, show a little bit more patience, realizing that Schertel is out there in the 6th. Recipe is getting in the bullpen.
That one's a good hard fastball at the knees. And a full count. Clayton Sands on deck. 3-2. And he calls him out on strikes. And Sam Wood didn't really agree with that. He was running his way down to first base.
Don't see any action right now in either bullpen, so it looks like it's still Schertel's game here.
Here's Sands. That one's over for a called strike. Sands hitting .174 entering today's game. He's 0 for 2. Flew out to left and grounded to short. The 0-1. Swung on and missed. And quickly, Schertel is ahead, 0-2. In the 7th, it'll be Gross, Eggery, and Cohen for Holy Spirit. That one's off the dish, 1-2. This is a big inning here for Schertel because if he can get this out, if he can get a 1-2-3 inning, he'll face the 8, 9, and then 1 of Mainland. And that pitch is hit to short. Ooh, and Petrosh can't bring it in. It'll be an E6 as Sands gets himself a hard hit ball.
Well, you just mentioned it. I mean, if they can get up and get down, you got 8, 9, 1. Well, now you have at least 9, 1, 2.
Well, you get a ground ball here.
Could roll it.
Here's Joe Sheeran. But theoretically, yes, unless there's a little double disco here. Hard hit ball there at Petrosh. Sheeran first pitch over for a called strike. Jimmy Conover behind the plate today.
I don't want to give Sheeran the KOD, but he's not really a ground ball hitter. He's been barreling up, hitting consistent line drives so far all year long.
The 0-1. Grounded past a diving third baseman Spina. Rounding second is Sands, and into third, and over to second goes Sheeran. It is a double for Joe Sheeran, and it's second and third with just 1 out here in the 6th.
The sizzling sophomore, his bat has been absolutely in fuego. Pretty sure that he's been wrapping it in aluminum foil because time and again, man, this guy, forget calling Uber Eats. Just call Joe Sheeran. He knows how to deliver.
So he delivers a double that brings a mound visit. Delivers a mound visit here. And there's just 1 out. And you got a Gigian, the lefty. And then Christian Elliott, who I believe is in the 9-hole now. And you got some bullpen action now for Holy Spirit. Mike Vitanza is warming up. Ventnor boy.
Was he on one of your teams?
He played for me in Ventnor.
Okay.
Yep. You know what's interesting, though? He always asked me to pitch.
Yeah.
I never let him. Actually, I did. But it wasn't, he was 15. He's like, oh, just let me try to pitch. But he was a big kid that he needed the opportunity to be PO.
There you go.
Concentrate on being a pitcher. And it looks like he's in the bullpen right now.
Yeah, and this is gotten very interesting all of a sudden. Runners at second and third, one out.
Yeah, there's a lefty-lefty matchup, so Schertel's going to stick in here at least. But there is some bullpen action for the Spartans, and that ball is fisted up in the air, and Spina and Schertel collide. And who ends up with it? It looks like Schertel gets it, so it'll be an F1.
Well, Schertel is in football mode. So far, he's tried to run over Egri, and now he butts up with his third baseman over there at Spina.
Right, there's a play where the pitcher typically gets out of the way, not if you're the quarterback of the football team.
And an outfielder. that takes over. Ball's in the air, that's all mine. I'm like a vacuum cleaner.
Here's Christian Elliott, the brother of Mark Elliott. He's a freshman. First pitch is a little low.
By all accounts, the scouting report early on here on Christian Elliott is he's a Dick Vitale diaper dandy as a freshman.
1-0, 2 down. And Elliott's swinging a miss as he was trying to put himself on the map. Everybody knows my brother. It's time then to find out about me. Elliott played for me, Christian.
Yeah, and him and his brother are going to have a chance to go back-to-back in the batting lineup
I'll
right
tell
now.
you, he, at 13 years old, had one of the fastest, quickest bats, man. Very quick bat. 1-1, swing and a miss. Well, he's facing one of the toughest left-handers in the Cape Atlantic League.
Yeah, and they keep attacking him out on that outside corner of the plate. Let's see if he kind of gets in a little bit, maybe put his toes on the chalk.
A ball and 2 strikes. The senior Schertel staring down the freshman Elliott. The 1-2. Swing and a miss, and he got him, and Schertel gets out of the jam. And we head to the 7th. 2 left on base, 2-1. Spartans lead the Mustangs on BFA Sports. All right, here we go in the 7th inning. Trevor lead things off in the gross spot of the lineup. So a pinch hitter here.
Ball got away from Elliott that first pitch.
So Trevor Smith getting a chance to swing the bat here in the 7th inning. Ball's away.
Little different dynamic now. Seen the Spartans get very aggressive first pitch in all these beginnings of these innings, and now we're seeing them take pitches in the last 2. I think that was a called strike.
2-1. And Smith lifts one that Elliott gets underneath. Smith gives it a little ride, but Christian Elliott there to make the grab, and that'll bring up C.J. Egri. So the Diamond Classic pairings announced. Mainland will play Thursday.
Yeah, Thursday at 4 o'clock.
Egri takes ball 1. So EHT will play tomorrow. They're the 4 seed, I believe.
Yeah, Carmichael couldn't wait to play that game. They're going to host West Deptford tomorrow.
Egri trying to bunt his way on, And a perfectly placed bunt would overruns it, but wasn't going to get Egri. And there's what C.J. Egri can do. Flashes the speed and a smart play there. Saw that third baseman back. Boop.
Yeah, good call. And early on, this was the game that Steve Normain probably going to get on his Spartans. They had trouble getting down the bunt in a big-time situation, but Egri wastes no time and able to do so for a single.
Yeah, that's knowing CJ, that's probably something he elected to do by himself there. Just, I'm going to see that third baseman back there and go. And remember, he got thrown out stealing in that first inning. Now you got a lefty thrower. We'll see if he tries to go again. Give them a little insurance opportunity here with Cohen at the plate, who's 0 for 3, struck out, hit a little number in front of the plate, and then flew out to center.
Well, you mentioned Egri getting thrown out in the first inning, and this week has been very fun on Twitter as everybody's could play kind of Monday morning quarterback with some of these calls. So we actually heard
you
noise.
You should see my text for this game.
That's why I say that, because I got to ask your opinion. The end of the Eustis Cherry Hill West in the 10th inning, safer out call. Everybody had their phone out.
Ball away. The angle that you got, it clearly looked like he was out, but I would like to see the angle from the other side.
Yeah.
You're looking from the back side. You can't tell whether he got the hand in there. I would like to see another angle on that. Ball away, 3-1.
So there was an angle floating around from the Jersey Sports Zone, so our guy Mike Frankel out there on the first base side today. But it didn't show anything really conclusive either. My gut was he blocked the plate, but
and this one is fouled off of Campbell.
We took heat for not being there. I actually had people hit me up and say, well, if we were there with BFA, we would have had a better angle.
Well,
and we would have saw
happening.
it.
Now everybody, I texted you Saturday night. I said, who knew Mainland was playing Ocean City Saturday night at 7 under the lights?
Yeah, our good friends, the parish of the Holy Cross, had us out there for a 50-50, their super 50-50 raffle. So we were already committed. So my apologies to all of the baseball brethren out there. I know I took a lot of heat, but hey.
We were looking for that night game.
We are. We're talking about doing a primetime schedule. We're working it with some of the ADs and the South Jersey Baseball Coaches Association, but we also need your business help out there. So if those of you interested in getting some sponsors, people to check out your product, we would love nothing more than an opportunity to promote your business, be seen by the thousands that have been enjoying the high school baseball season down here.
3-2 pitch. Egri over at first. Upstairs, ball 4, and the Spartans have 2 on with 1 out here in the 7th, trying to tack on some insurance for Jaden Schertel, who now steps to the plate with an opportunity to give himself that insurance. Schertel struck out twice, walked and scored.
Cool.
Campbell going to have a conversation with Elliott. He knows Egri over at second. These guys know each other well. They know Egri well. They know Cohen well. So the 2 runners on the base pass for the Spartans. This battery has worked together a ton of innings together. Spartans looking to tack another one on. Chase Petty started the game. Went 5 innings, 8 strikeouts, 5 hits. And that ball is hit towards second. Petty. Sharp. Double play. And the Mustangs get out of the inning. They leave 2 on. We head to the bottom of the 7th. Holy Spirit 2, Mainland 1 here on BFA Sports. Trevor Cohen's the new pitcher for Holy Spirit. He will try to close this thing out with a 2-1 lead. The left-hander, Schertel, his day is done, but, man, what an admirable job he did. So Cohen will try to get the final 3 outs. He'll do so against the top of the Mustang order. Elliott, Petty, and Brody Levin will face left-hander Trevor Cohen.
Well, that is a big order, and I'll tell you, why not go to Charlie's? They're just a home run away right there, Mike. Look at the scoreboard. I mean, I know you got a game tonight, but I'm actually thinking I might head over to Charlie's, see my guy Jeff over there.
JT.
Certainly appreciate his sponsorship of Mainland Athletics over here and having us for, we had the Coaches versus Cancer kickoff event out at Charlie's not so long ago, but wonderful event. And for those of you still looking to contribute, you can still do so if you go over to Venmo at CBC-Mainland. So check them out.
So 6 innings, 9 strikeouts, 3 walks for Schertel. Just the 1 run, and that was scored way back in the first inning. And now Trevor Cohen.
Well, I think part of the strategy was certainly to get to the bullpen, right? You had Schertel. He was in a groove. You've only been able to get 1 run, and now Mark Elliott, if there's a spark on this Mustang team, especially when it comes to the batter hand, it's that guy.
Now, do you think he was pulled because of the pitch count, or you think, full disclosure, I'm not counting pitches, and I don't think you are either, but do you think he was pulled for pitch count, or just because they thought he was?
I think they thought he was done. They just escaped that situation in the last inning. You're kind of pushing a little bit, so why not, as you're going through the lineup again, because now this is the 4th time through the lineup, that's a trying situation, and they've probably seen maybe a little bit too much of Schertel, according to Coach Normain.
Cohen with an all-speed pitch to start things off. 2-1, Mainland trails. They are 10-0 this season, a unblemished mark. Way up.
I think it's interesting, though, Coach Normain staying with another southpaw, so he must think that the Mustangs having a little bit of trouble, knowing that Elliott was going to lead this inning off as a lefty, so you get the lefty-on-lefty matchup. Oh, look at this.
Elliott shows like he's going to bunt and says, Cohen, try to throw a strike. And Cohen falls behind 3-0. And the 3-0. That one's over.
So if you're Coach Billy Kern, you have him take another one just because of the situation? Try to put a little pressure on him?
3-1, way away. So Cohen walks the leadoff man, Mark Elliott, and now that'll bring up Chase Petty. Petty has doubled, walked, and flew out. Elliott's got wheels. The lefty Cohen.
He throws a first pitch strike. You're going to have to worry about Elliott's wheels.
That one's up and away.
This here is just a challenge. There's one spot right now for Petty that he has on his mind.
The 1-0.
Oh, he wanted that one.
He asked the field umpire if he went, and he said he did not go. So it's 2-0. So Cohen working from behind now. Petty at the plate. Bottom 7. The tying runs over at first. The pitch. And he takes a hack to try to end this game. Swung it probably ball 3 there. The pitch was up and in.
Might have been anticipating a little bit on that one.
See a lot of those ACC Buccaneer hats back there. 2-1. Pitch is swung on, missed. The runner goes. Gross's throw is high and away, and Mark Elliott is into scoring position now with a stolen base. Nobody out here in the 7th. And Petty with a 2-2 count. I think that swing was intended to try to end this game.
That was a heck of a hack. I've said the word healthy hack a few times, but I'll say heck for the PG version.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Elliott at second. Cohen The pitch. Swing and popped up. Egri camps underneath, and there's one away. I heard Egri call for that ball from here, by the way.
Yeah, Petty certainly wanted a big piece of that one.
That'll bring up the DH Brody Levin, who enters tonight's game hitting .625, but he has struck out twice and walked. He is the 3-hole hitter in the Mustangs lineup. Trying to bring Elliott home from second. Cohen, off-speed pitch, hit to left. Solari got it. And there's 2 away.
Oh, man, that's an opportunity there, though. I think as hard as that ball was hit, Elliott should have been making his way back to second base. I think he got caught up in the moment a little bit. And so instead of him possibly, with his speed, standing at third, just 90 feet away, now there's 2 outs, and he's at second.
Here comes Campbell, who has singled, sacrificed with an RBI, and grounded back. Well, actually, it wasn't back to the pitcher. That was the play where Egri and Schertel collided and got the out. So he has had an interesting day at the plate. Enters today hitting .556, does the Mainland catcher. Elliott at second. He's the tying run. First pitch swinging and fouled off.
Yeah, so give Cohen credit. He settled down a bit. He was a little loose, we'll call it, with his first batter that he had faced, but now he seems a little bit more locked in.
And Cohen's one of them guys. He really needs to get in a groove, and once he does,
a bit of a chess match as Campbell asks for time. Take a look at the BFA side by side. Do you get aggressive here? Or do you just trust Campbell?
He scores on a single. Ball's down. Gross gets up over top of it. Perfect positioning there for Gross behind the dish. Yeah, I mean, you're off on contact. 2 outs.
Yeah.
Elliott's, and he's got great speed, Elliott. So I know it feels, especially with this backstop, where a pass ball doesn't necessarily give you a automatic run. The 1-1. Upstairs. 2-1. Campbell and Cohen have been teammates. Now they're facing each other here in a huge spot in a Mainland Holy Spirit game. The 2-1. Upstairs, 3-1. On deck is Sam Wood, who was struck out twice and flew out to center.
Did you get the complimentary suntan?
The sun just decided to sneak in back to my monitor with 2 outs here in the 7th.
Of course.
As Campbell backs out.
You know, you talk about those ACCC hats back there. Logan Petty, the older brother of Chase, a member of the ACCC Buccaneers, qualified for Region 19 playoffs.
The 3-1. That's way away and a ball 4. So with the base open, Campbell is now the go-ahead run. The tying runs at second, and Sam Wood, the Mustang third baseman now, has a chance to either tie this game up Wood has struck out twice and flew out to center.
So Campbell is the winning run now at first base. He stays on the bases.
And Wood fists one towards second. Egri over to first, and the Spartans have knocked off the Mustangs for the first time this season. Mainland loses. Holy Spirit picks up the win with a 2-1 win as Wood grounds to second, and Egri gets the final out of the game. And that's how this one ends. 2-1 Holy Spirit as Mainland falls to 10-1 on the season, and a tough, kind of hard luck loss for Chase Petty.
Yeah, and the reality of it is the extra motivation here by the Spartans not making the diamond. I think they had a revenge game definitely lined up, and that is a dish best served cold, as it does get a bit chilly here out in Linwood. But hats off to the Spartans. They did what many teams have just not even been close or remotely close to doing, a big win for Coach Steve Normain.
So Holy Spirit wins it. They knock off Mainland. Jaden Schertel really was the story. He was Got off to that start where he had the bases loaded, nobody out, but was able to settle in, Doug, and only gave up that one run, and then Trevor Cohen came in and got the save. So Schertel wins it, Cohen saves it, and the Spartans get the win. 2-1 here on BFA Sports as the Spartans pick up a very important win for this program against Chase Petty and the Mustangs. So that will do it for us here in Linwood today. The Mustangs fall for the first time all season long. 2-1 the score here for all of us here at BFA Sports. There's the PT, Charles Hope, on the cameras. They did an excellent job. What am I supposed to say on this here? We hope to see you.
You're all good, man. You're all good. Usually it goes, so you've been watching BFA Sports This Week in Baseball, South Jersey. For Mike Gill, I'm Doug Stasic, and we can't wait till next time to see you play ball.